Have you ever wondered, why do we celebrate Christmas on December 25th when the Bible does not specify the exact date of Jesus' birth? Was that truly the day he was born? Or is it merely a traditional choice shaped over centuries to align with pagan customs? And if it wasn't during the cold winter, then when was he actually born? Let us embark on a journey through the precious clues in the Bible to uncover the answers to these intriguing questions. In the 4th century, as Christianity was gradually establishing its position within the Roman Empire, Emperor Constantine made a symbolic decision to designate December 25th as the date for celebrating Christmas. December 25th coincided with the festival of Sol Invictus, the celebration honoring the unconquered sun, marking the return of light after the winter solstice. At the same time, the lively Saturnalia festival, known for its feasts and gift-giving, also took place around this period. Thus, the choice of December 25th was not based on any biblical evidence regarding the birth of Jesus, but was entirely a cultural integration, blending the emerging Christian faith with the long-standing pagan traditions of the Romans. However, when we turn to the pages of the Bible, many clues suggest that Jesus may have been born at a different time, in the autumn, around September to October, during the period between 6 to 4 BC. 7 key pieces of evidence open up a fresh perspective, indicating that both historical and astronomical signs converge on the same conclusion. This raises a thought-provoking question. Do we truly understand the actual birth date of the Lord? Imagine the scene of Joseph and Mary's family receiving the decree from Caesar Augustus to return to their ancestral home for a census. According to the Gospel of Luke, this order applied to the entire empire, forcing everyone to leave the familiar surroundings of Nazareth and journey to Bethlehem, the very place prophesied as the birthplace of the Lord. But consider this. Could a large-scale census be conducted in the midst of a bitter winter, when dusty roads and harsh weather would render the journey even more arduous? Muddy, treacherous paths and biting, relentless winds would undoubtedly complicate travel across rural landscapes. Many scholars contend that to ease travel and ensure safety, this census might have been carried out in the spring or autumn, seasons characterized by milder, more pleasant weather. This notion suggests that Joseph and Mary's arduous journey likely unfolded not during a frigid winter, but in the gentle, temperate embrace of autumn. Moreover, the story of Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist, reveals another crucial clue. In the Gospel of Luke, Zechariah is portrayed as a priest belonging to the order of Abijah, serving in the temple around May or June. After completing his duties, he returned home, where his wife, Elizabeth, conceived John the Baptist, a figure who would play a special role in spiritually preparing the way for the birth of Jesus. 6 months later, the angel Gabriel appeared to Mary, announcing that she would conceive the Savior. If this message was delivered after May or June, then a full 9-month pregnancy would place his birth around September or October, a time that coincides with autumn. This alignment not only helps us envision a warm, inviting setting, but also lends further credibility to the hypothesis that Jesus' birth may have occurred in the fall, rather than in the cold winter, as is commonly believed. Another clue emerges from the Festival of Tabernacles, Sukkot, one of the most significant celebrations of the Jewish people, observed in the autumn. During this festival, the Jews erect small tents to commemorate the divine presence among them throughout their 40-year journey in the wilderness. This simple yet profoundly meaningful image is intricately connected to the message, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us," as presented in the Gospel of John. The Greek phrase "dwelt among" evokes the act of setting up a tent, an act of camping, of living simply in nature. It serves as a reminder that at the moment when the Jewish people were celebrating God's sacred presence through the Festival of Tabernacles, it was precisely in that very context that the incarnate Word came to dwell among humanity. This narrative not only enriches the vibrant imagery of an autumn filled with life, but also affirms that he was born into a culture steeped in deep faith and sacred tradition. Moreover, the scene of the shepherds tending their flocks provides another significant clue. In the Gospel of Luke, as Jesus was born, the shepherds were out in the fields under the night sky, quietly watching over and caring for their sheep. However, if it had been winter, with harsh weather and biting winds, the shepherds would have hurriedly taken their flocks into the barns to escape the cold. The image of these shepherds beneath a starlit sky, with the fields still aglow with the shimmering light of the stars, and the air imbued with the gentle warmth of autumn, suggests that that night was not one of a frigid winter, but rather an autumn evening, when nature still exudes a welcoming warmth. The story of the wise men from the East is equally captivating. According to the Gospel of Matthew, these astrologers observed a unique star, an unusual sign in the sky, and believed it was a celestial message heralding the birth of the Savior. Undeterred by borders or long distances, they journeyed all the way to Bethlehem. Modern astronomical research suggests that this phenomenon might be linked to a rare planetary alignment, perhaps involving Jupiter and Saturn, or even a special comet, all occurring in the autumn. These celestial signs are not merely grand displays of the cosmos. They are sacred omens, opening the door to the belief that the Savior was born amidst the warm, radiant splendor of autumn. At the same time, the story of King Herod and the massacre of the innocents brings a tragic yet equally significant dimension. According to the Gospel of Matthew, when Herod learned of the birth of a new king, his greed and brutality spurred him to order the killing of all male infants under 2 years old in Bethlehem, in an attempt to eliminate any threat to his power. Historical records indicate that Herod died in 4 BCE, and for him to have carried out his horrific plan, Jesus must have been born before that, somewhere between 6 and 4 BCE. This clue further reinforces the hypothesis that he was born in the fall, as the historical timeline aligns with other biblical signs and astronomical events. Finally, the clue regarding the beginning of Jesus' public ministry adds an important piece to this historical puzzle. According to Luke, he started preaching and fulfilling his mission when he was about 30 years old. If we work backward from this point, assuming his ministry began around AD 27 to 29, then it follows that he must have been born between 6 and 4 BC. This convergence of dates, in line with other evidence, further reinforces the hypothesis that Jesus was born not in the midst of a harsh winter, but during the gentle, welcoming season of autumn. Overall, the 7 clues from Caesar Augustus's census, Zechariah's time of service, the Festival of Tabernacles, the scene of the shepherds beneath the night sky, the appearance of the Star of Bethlehem, King Herod's tragic massacre of the innocents, to the beginning of Jesus' public ministry. All point to the same conclusion. Jesus may very well have been born in the autumn, around September or October, during the period from 6 to 4 BC. Although historical and astronomical evidence suggests that he might have been born in the fall, the tradition of celebrating Christmas on December 25th endures as a powerful symbol. December 25th is not merely a number or chronological marker. It is a representation of the rebirth of light. Light that triumphs over darkness after the winter solstice, carrying with it hope and renewal. In the Roman cultural context, this choice allowed Christianity to integrate more smoothly, transforming pagan festivals into a sacred part of the faith, while also conveying the message that, even if Jesus' actual birth date might not be December 25th, the light and love he brought continue to serve as an eternal source of inspiration. Imagine the scene of Joseph and Mary, two humble, faith-filled individuals traversing rugged, winding paths from Nazareth to Bethlehem in obedience to the imperial decree for a census. Along that arduous journey, they not only faced severe weather conditions, but also contended with deep fears, overwhelming fatigue, and countless uncertainties. Yet their steadfast faith in prophecy and divine intervention guided them until, in a humble stable, under the warm ambience of an autumn night, the incarnate Word, Jesus, entered the world. That night, the space seemed to burst forth with a new hope, as God's promise became manifest in everyday life, spreading love and light to all humanity. On that very night, the shepherds out in the fields, people intimately connected with nature, the land, and bountiful harvests, witnessed a wondrous scene. Under a star-studded sky, they heard the heavenly proclamation, a message of joy and awe. If it had been winter, the shepherds would have hurried to shelter their flocks. Yet here they remained, bathed in the gentle glow of an autumn night, affirming that the evening was indeed filled with warmth and hope. Moreover, the tale of the wise men from the East with hearts full of faith and a yearning for truth is equally compelling. They traversed barren lands and vast deserts to reach Bethlehem, following a unique star, the Star of Bethlehem, a miraculous sign that modern astronomical studies suggest could have appeared in autumn. They believed that after their grueling journey, the light of that star would guide them to the place where the Savior was born, heralding a new era of love and hope. The story of Jesus, through these historical clues, is not merely a chronicle of recorded events, but a journey of faith, sacrifice, and boundless love. Every small detail, from Joseph and Mary enduring immense hardships, to the scene of the shepherds under a celestial sky, from the voyage of the wise men to King Herod's tragic cruelty, contributes to painting a sacred portrait that reflects the harmony between history, astronomy, and spirituality. Whether we debate the actual date of Jesus' birth or not, the message he left behind remains unchanged. The Word became flesh. This is the promise of a God who was not distant, but chose to dwell among us, bringing salvation, love, and hope to everyone. Whether he was born in the fall or on December 25th, the essence lies in his divine presence, an event that transcends the bounds of time, space, and belief. If this story resonates with you, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspirational messages and connection with God. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.